Welcome to This Week in MMA, brought to you by Half the Battle. I'm your host, as always, Daniel Levy, and this is something I've wanted to do for a while. Y'all are used to my fight predictions, which are not going anywhere. They're still going to be around every single fight week, but I wanted to do a new show and tell y'all what's been going on every single week in MMA, in the UFC, outside the UFC, and give you some commentary on it. So without further ado, let's get down to business. It just got announced that Jon Jones, he said he's in negotiations with the UFC right now. He said that in an interview with the Schmo. And Tom Aspinall basically said the same thing, that they're in talks. So what that means is that they're going to have to offer Jon Jones the right price. And my proof of that is this. Look, he literally said that himself. Listen very closely to what Jon Jones said to Joe Rogan.
And as far as my future in the octagon, I decided that maybe I will not retire, and that I have some conversations to have with Dana and Hunter, and we have some negotiating to do. And if everything goes right, maybe we'll give you guys what you want to see.
So he literally just said everything that you needed to hear, which was the negotiations go right. We're going to give the fans what they want to see. What do the fans want to see? The fans want to see Jon Jones versus Tom Aspinall. Money talks, and I'm very confident that they can get the deal done. Tom's not going to be an issue. It's about with Jon. Jon, he said he wants that FU money. Those were his words, and now it's up to the UFC to give him that. And as far as Tom is concerned, he recently said that he's got an announcement to make. Now, you see here, Homo Fight shared it. He's got this little announcement countdown, but I don't think that's going to be a fight announcement. I think it's going to be like a new sponsor or new this or new that. But the bottom line is there was a video circulating. I couldn't find it, of Tom Aspinall walking in the snow saying that negotiations are ongoing. And then obviously Jon Jones told the Schmo negotiations are ongoing. So my conclusion is we will hopefully, probably, possibly see Jon Jones versus Tom Aspinall in 2025, and maybe even sooner than you all think. So obviously the big news going on right now is the Conor McGregor case, where the civil court found him. The civil court said that he raped this young lady, which it was a civil court, not a criminal court. That's not to at all discredit any claims or anything like that. But just saying, to me, the bigger moral of the story is this: it's when you're doing cocaine as much as this guy does, and I'm not talking about, oh, you did coke once or twice in college or something like. I'm talking about people that do cocaine every day, which he admitted to doing in the trial. That changes you in a way where you're gonna do stupid, ridiculous things, and to even put yourself in that situation where something like that could even happen is just terrible judgment on McGregor's part. And if he actually went as far as doing what he's accused of doing, I mean, it's beyond terrible. Obviously, I was born in America, so I think you're innocent until proven guilty. But where there's smoke, there's fire. And if you're getting into doing cocaine on the reg, there's pretty good chances that you're doing a bunch of other stupid shit. So let me just share this clip right now with y'all of McGregor acting like a total moron. And this is the guy that's being accused. Y'all ready? So,
Mike Perry, that's a hell of a match.
Floyd, you little you're doing bad conversations, trying to get a boxing match at 155. Fight me my way. I'm the A side. You owe your out. Bare knuckle. McGregor Mayweather, 170 pounds. Let's go, babe.
Yeah. Does that sound to you like a guy who's in the right state of mind? Does that sound to you like a guy who's innocent? But again, it was a civil court, not a criminal court. And also, word on the street, I obviously need to look into this stuff more, and I don't want to jump to conclusions, but word on the street is this specific young lady has accused other successful men of doing the same thing. Now, if that's true and they did that, I mean, that's horrendous. And you don't want to question the victims, of course not, because this is why women have issues speaking out, because people don't believe them. And when you see how this idiot Conor McGregor acts, you can totally like see how he could possibly be guilty of something like that. But to me, what I think is the bigger deal here is this guy needs to going to a program. You have the money, dude. Coke, like I said, and this is from my experience in terms of like I've been to college. In my 30s, I'm a grown ass man. I've experienced some things in my life. There's usually two kinds of people when it comes to drugs like cocaine and uppers, right? There's people like me who I'm just not into it. Like it has no, it like doesn't do anything for me, stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Like even an energy drink, it just makes like my heart race, makes me feel like shit. When you're talking about things like cocaine, I've only met a select few of people who can actually do that in moderation, because the way that people whose their brain receptors are attracted to stuff like cocaine and uppers, it makes them feel like Superman, and it's something they just can't get off. And Conor is going to have to really have not just a come to Jesus moment, but a come to get locked in a mental institution for 6 months moment, because people saying he's cheating on his wife. He doesn't have a wife. He has a fiance. I wonder why that arrangement is in place considering how long they've been together, but I digress. But the point I'm trying to make is this man needs desperate help. You know, labels like rapist are not something that you easily kick. And yeah, man, just the fact, like, again, I don't know if it happened or not. I wasn't there. And also, like I said, the civil jury stuff, but I don't want to discredit the alleged victim. All I want to say is Conor McGregor is a moron for even putting himself in that situation. And there's a reason that Dana said he's not going to fight till the very end of 2025. That was before all this came out. Now I question if he'll ever fight again. So let's stay tuned. Let's stay tuned and see what happens. So another thing that went down was Darren Till, who left the UFC not too long ago, maybe a year or two ago by now. He's going to get into one of those kind of celebrity boxing matches with Tommy Fury. You know, Tommy Fury, the only man to defeat Jake Paul. Man, Darren Till was absolutely hilarious at the pre-fight press conference. Like initially, like I wasn't going to watch this fight. I don't give a fuck about this fight. But like now, the way he talked, yeah, send me a little stream and I might tune in, you know, because he was talking about knocking him out with head kicks. And, you know, obviously that's illegal in boxing, but just he let his presence be known, and he kind of punked out Tommy Fury a little bit, letting him know, like, I have no fear of anyone in this room. But man, when he says it with his accent, it's a lot funnier. So let's pull up what my boy said.
Listen, Darren, you got to walk into the firing line, mate. Oh, and everyone that I've sparred from the Olympics who's turned over pro, it's different watching me on the television.
Well, at the end of the day, if I can't beat it, I'll just kick it in the face in there. How about that?
Well, that's not going to happen, Darren.
Well, it obviously is. How are you going to stop?
Because we're eating the cage now in a boxing ring, and you're going to find out the boxing is very different
fight,
to
I'll just kick you straight in your face.
Listen,
you won't know what
you kick me straight in the face. Well, that's it. It's going to be a proper fight then, isn't it?
But then I'll win because I'm a proper fighter.
Well, you're not
a boxer.
You're not.
I don't walk into rooms. I don't walk in a room like this and see boxing and go shit. Darren. I walk in. No one in here is a threat to me. No, not one person in this room. Security, you, your dad are not a threat to me. I'm an MMA fighter, so
why come over there?
Why or elbow you in the face? I will.
Why
no one can do anything about it.
Why come over to boxing? Listen, Darren,
and if you forgot, I sparred your brother. I sparred your brother Tyson and beat him like a baby.
Yeah, it's fine.
So if I'm in that fight and I'm losing, I'm going to go right. I'm kicking him in the face now.
Listen, Darren, you got to walk into the firing line, mate.
Oh,
and everyone that I've sparred from the Olympics who's turned over pro, it's different watching me on the television.
Well, at the end of the day, if I can't beat it, I'll just kick it in the face in there. How about that?
Well, that's not.
Yeah, no, that to me is absolutely hilarious to say stuff like that you're going to kick him in the head. Like now I'm interested in watching the fight. I know you're not going to actually kick him in the head, but man, I love this unhinged Darren Till. And that's how you kind of play games with these boxers, because he is telling truth. I mean, he doesn't have any fear of any man in that room because, you know, boxing is a limited sport. Darren Till, you know, we make fun of his ground game. If he wants to take Tommy Fury down, he can take Tommy Fury down. But there was a clip recently of a boxing match, and I think Buddy got frustrated and threw a head kick and knocked him out. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Yeah, so here it is. Now they're boxing it up a little bit. He doesn't like how things are going. And then, you know what? Screw it. Ink. Oh my God, man. That is insane, dude. Man, I'm surprised there wasn't a straight up riot in there after that. Like, I know boxers don't be liking stuff like that. I mean, he's breaking the rules, but great moment you just gave us. But as far as Darren Till, I got to show you this one right here was one of my favorite clips of the whole ordeal.
I've said it before and I'll say it again. MMA fighters can't box and it'll
Tommy, you've got the IQ of a loaf of bread, mate. What are you on about?
That's all I'm going to say.
You're an empty head.
Hey,
you're an absolute...
What are you going to do? 6 feet up, get your ticket. Woo!
This is going to be fireworks. Tune in January 18th, the Co-op Arena in Manchester. It is all bad blood here between Tommy Fury and Darren Till.
Yeah. So a couple takeaways there. Darren Till saying Tommy has the IQ of a loaf of bread. I mean, it doesn't get any more witty than that. And then he's like, you shithouse. Like, man, I can't wait to watch that fight. Am I going to pay for it? Not going to give you a straight answer here, but let me just tell you this. Now I might actually tune in. Now I might actually give a shit because Darren Till sold that fight for me. So Darren Till, I hope you're getting a fat fucking bag. And it's funny because he even said some stuff about how I don't even know how much I'm getting paid. I'm just going in there to fight, which is hilarious. Of course he knows how much he's getting paid, but he really knows how to sell a fight. I mean, so let's all stream this fight and see what happens, man. I can't wait for it. So Kong Wong comes into the UFC weigh-ins dressed up as the Joker. And those were famous last words, so to speak. I mean, look at this weigh-in. If you're going to come in dressed like this, act this arrogant, do the gun signs that she's about to do, the gunshots, watch, that's about to come here in a second. And Gabriella's like, what the hell is going on? You know, they shook hands. Wait, but where are the gun signs? I guess she must have already did the gun signs and they took it out of this clip. But basically Wang Kong was like, boom, 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 you know, and famous last words. I mean, like I told y'all remember when Marcus Maluko pulled that same stunt against Dricus and got starched in the first? Well, now we're about to find out what happened when Wang Kong did that against Gabriela Fernandez. So it started off like this.
Yeah.
What
did I tell you? Good
and that was a big shot. And then it ended like this.
It is. She's out. Gabby Fernandez puts her to sleep.
Face first.
Wow.
That was it. And one of the biggest upsets of the year. So, wow. And then the critics spoke about what they thought about the Joker's second Octagon appearance. And here's what they had to say. So, you know, the critics saw the movie right here. And then, yeah, not as good of reviews as the first time the Joker performed in there. So hopefully the trilogy, hopefully the third act is better this time, right? But shout out Gabriela Fernandez. She just changed her life and you love to see it. And speaking of upsets, something else very, very brutal happened Saturday morning in Macau, China. Man, not Yan, but Shao Kahn, not Zhao Nan, Shao Kahn went through one of the most devastating knockouts I've ever seen in all my years watching the sport. And it's time to pull that up real quick. So
get any throws. She's got to lower her level and attack the hip.
Massive head kick. She's out. Xu Ming with a huge knockout. Slapped her contract.
God damn, girl. And while we're at it, sharing badass knockouts from the other night, how about Muslim Salikov?
Both have given us some marvelous.
Damn.
Not much better than that. What a knockout for Muslim Salikov.
He did it again.
I mean,
Hey, man.
as you said, John.
40 years old, and that's how you're treating guys that are more than a half decade younger than you. Look, oh man, that is just devastating work by Muslim Salikov. So props to him. You love to see it. In other news, it looks like Mackenzie Dern and Antonio Tricoli have broken up. According to Massimo on Twitter, he says, looks like Mackenzie Dern dumped her UFC fighter boyfriend, Antonio Tricoli, after he got submitted by Tresean Gore in round 1 last week. She's deleted all posts and both have unfollowed each other. Tough luck for the Brazilian contender. I don't know about contender, maybe a prospect at the time, but listen, man, Antonio, she was never yours. It was just your turn. Focus on yourself, young king. All right, so I want to talk about Tyson Nam. So former UFC fighter Tyson Nam, who's always been known for having insane knockout power. He's on a 2-fight kill streak since he left the UFC. Let me show you what he's been doing since he left the UFC real quick.
Those leg kicks, wondering if Nam has an opportunity.
Oh, shit. God damn. Man. Woo. Let's see that again. Let's see that again.
Nam has an opportunity. What a right hand. That'll do it.
Yeah, so, you know, power's the last thing to go. Tyson Nam, being in his 40s, still treating grown men like this. But let's take it a step further. Now he's about to fight in Japan. And, man, I don't know the name of the promotion. I don't know the name of his opponent. But what I do know is they had like a little hype video where Tyson Nam completely punked this kid out. Y'all got to see it. He posted it on his Twitter. Check this out.
Champion.
Champion?
Yes.
Of what?
Breaking champion.
Breaking champion. I'm gonna slap your head.
Yoroyo.
Don't get close, boy. Don't get close.
Yoroyo.
Don't get close. Yeah.
Champion.
Champion.
Yes.
Nice. Nice.
Yoroyo. Yoro.
Let's do it.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Me and you first.
Ooh.
Okay.
No.
What you gonna do? What you gonna do?
Double unders.
すぐに MMA 強いって。
Oh.
そりゃそうなるわ。
Oh, that's too fucking good, man.
Try it again.
こいつやらせてください。
Okay, 試合決定で。
Too good, too good. So basically, I mean, that fight wasn't even on my radar. I don't even know the promotion or Tyson Nam's opponent, but I know I want to watch that fight. So Tyson Nam, thank you for selling this fight for me. So the ageless wonder, Yoel Romero, competed in, I believe it's called Dirty Boxing Championships. It's like boxing with MMA gloves, I'm pretty sure. And Yoel, at the ripe age of 47 years old, this is what he's doing to grown men in 2024. Check this out. Damn. Woo. Damn, has he even moved yet? Let's see that again. Let's see that again. Hold up. Let's see that again. Oh, there's that left hand. Look. Oh, man. He just rolled over and said, I'm a stomach sleeper now, man. Like, the good news is he probably took the best nap of his life. God damn, at what price, you know? And now Yoel Romero, let's see what other fights he's got, in the future for him. That was obviously an unknown opponent, but let's see if they can put him in, a little bit of a bigger fight with kind of an older guy too. But this isn't your typical 47-year-old. It's the soldier of God we're talking about, and it's good to see him landing more devastating, vicious knockouts at this point in his career. So now we got to talk about the PFL controversy that's been going on. A lot of fighters, we're going to talk about the ones here in these tweets, mentioned that they're having a lot of issues getting fights booked in PFL. And you remember not too long ago, Gegard Mousasi allegedly sued PFL. Douglas Lima was complaining. Like, these are legends of the sport. And then yesterday, it was just fighter after fighter after fighter being like, yo, like, what the is going on, man? And let's read what these tweets said. Let me see if I can make there we go. Okay, check it out. So we'll pull up tweet by tweet. So I wrote, can we go ahead and cancel PFL? I don't actually think PFL should be canceled. More so what I think is they should get their shit together. But let's take a look at what we got here. So actually, I'm going to go to the fourth tweet. Reason being is it all started with this. It all started with Patchy Mix, right? Patchy Mix said, I've been training my ass off for the last half year for nothing. This is frustrating in the prime of my career, and I've had my fight in November canceled. Then now again, I'm being told I'm off the January Dubai card. I am the best in the world, and I want to fight to prove it. So I respect that. The only little kind of, pushback that I will give Patchy there is only that, hey, bro, you fought like not that long ago. So it's not like you've been on the shelf for a long ass time. Like, you fought pretty damn recently. Controversially won that fight too, but you did fight pretty damn recently. Then when you start seeing more people start talking about that, right? You see what Patchy Mix said, then Leandro Higo, who I can guarantee you is not friends with Patchy Mix. He responds with, this is very frustrating. We have no clue about when we might be fighting after 2 fight cancellations in a row. Time is of the essence in this game. We can't waste our primes on the sidelines. I'm working hard to take that title, spending money, sweat, and blood. What's going on? And then Patricio Pitbull chimed in, who is considered the Bellator GOAT. And Patricio, he quote tweets Leandro now. He says, I haven't fought since February. I wanted to fight 3 times this year, but I was told I'd have to wait until December 31st and found out online my opponent would fight someone else. Then they had a replacement. I bring people over, spend more money with the camp, and there's no fight. And he went on to say a bunch more things. You can read the thread later and check it out. But the bottom line is that if you're going to call yourself the co-leader and you're not even giving these guys fights, and very, very quickly, because I know people see some of my tweets about PFL on X and might think I have something against them. I love the people that work at PFL. Like, I've got good relationship with a lot of people there. I'm talking about the execs. Those are the ones I'm coming after. I'm not coming after the hardworking people that have nothing to do with sidelining these fighters. So let's be very clear about that. So if you're going to call yourself the co-leader and this is what your fighters are saying, that does not make you the co-leader. I mean, even NFC has less complaints than this. So the next thing we got to talk about is the Jake Paul and Mike Tyson fight, not the fight itself, but today, Most Valuable Promotions put out a press release trying to kind of say that the fight wasn't fixed. Let me pull it up real quick. I'm not going to read exactly what they say, but I'm going to show it to you just so you see, Luke Thomas was talking about this earlier. Yeah, so basically, a statement from Most Valuable Promotions regarding fictitious claims that undermine the integrity of the Paul Tyson fight, blah, blah, blah. I don't need to read this to you, but basically they're trying to convince you that that fight wasn't fixed. None of us were even like, we'd already forgotten about that fight. Like, we felt dirty that night. We were all depressed, except for us that cashed on Jake Paul. Listen, we were going to be depressed no matter what. At least bet Jake Paul, salvage a little bit of integrity. But like, I never viewed the fight as fixed in terms of like, hey, like someone's going to take a dive or someone's going to purposely try to lose the fight. The only way you can kind of say something is you can say Jake Paul carried Mike Tyson. And he even admitted that in his post-fight press conference. He said there's no reason to knock someone out that doesn't need to be knocked out. So if you're saying it from that standpoint, okay, Jake took it easy on him, sure. But I saw people being like, oh, Mike Tyson held back. Yeah, okay. Dude, he's 60. I feel like people don't understand the reality of the fight game. When you're 60 fighting a 27-year-old, I mean, the only thing that was fake about it was that Mike Tyson wasn't unconscious in the first minute, you know? And people are going to be like, how could you say that about one of the greatest ever? Guys, I have a Mike Tyson jacket and tank top. He is one of the greatest ever. Back in the 90s when I was a fucking kid, before I went through puberty, he was one of the greatest ever. Guys, that's like putting Chuck Liddell in there with, you know, a guy outside the top 15 at light heavyweight, like an Alonzo Menafield. Chuck would get smoked. Father Time is undefeated. But the fact that these guys want to come out now, this, you know, what's it been? 1 or 2 weeks since that fight? Maybe 3 at this point? And you're saying you want to convince us the fight wasn't fixed? Dude, we stopped talking about this fight a long time ago. What are you trying to say here? One of my absolute favorite things that happened this week is some kid randomly went after Rampage Jackson for like no reason, and Rampage buried him in a way where I don't think we ever heard from this kid ever again. Let me pull up the tweet right now. Okay, so this dude, Tom Bowman, randomly steps into this guy's DMs, right? Okay, so firstly, Rampage says, what the fuck did I do to this asshole? Maybe something I said in one of my podcasts? So the guy's name is Tom Bowman. Tom Bowman sends an unsolicited message to Rampage Jackson, the legend. He says, now, excuse my language. This is already an adult show, but now you're going to have to really excuse my language. So if you got kids in the car or around, it's best to hit pause right now and then come back to what I'm saying. So Tom Bowman sends Rampage this message. He says, you smelly, backwards, black twat. Can't even get a sentence out, you thick black cunt. Hey, Tom, before I read what Rampage said, I mean, all of us would wager our entire bank accounts that you would never say something like that to Rampage in person because you might die. And Rampage's response was, what, trying to do to hurt my feelings? I bet you just mad because your dick's so small, your balls get wet when you pee. Go get a tan, you pasty cock-sucking twat. Don't say shit on the internet that you wouldn't say to people's faces. Facts. By the way, what did I do to you? Fuck your girlfriend or wife? If so, what's her name? So I'll come in her mouth again so you can taste my kids again, bitch. God damn, man. If this show wasn't over, I'd pick this mic up right now and drop it because that was the ultimate mic drop moment. And, you know, I was talking with my boy Meticulous, you know, who creates the incredible art for me. And I was like, when I mention this, because, you know, we planned this show out a little bit, should I be like, you know, this part where Quentin Rampage was like, go get a tan, you pasty cock-sucking twat. Should I have been like, go get a tan, you pasty expletive sucking expletive, you know, to make it sound like a legit news channel? But listen, man, this is an R-rated news show, so we're not going to censor here. We don't censor here. No fake news around here. So another awesome thing that happened this week. Well, I say awesome because these last couple things have been awesome. The McGregor situation, not awesome. This, awesome. So this influencer kid, I believe his name's iShowSpeed. Listen, the kid had balls to want to go spar Dan Hooker, but how it ended and how he was talking, let's get into it. So it starts off with Buddy talking a little bit of shit.
Like, nobody in here can beat me in boxing. Nobody can beat me here in boxing. Okay. Damn, fight me.
Say less.
Hold on. I want to see him go head first in the mat on that takedown attempt again. Check this out. Look, he tries to take him down, goes head first in the mat. Ooh. Game, set, and match, man. That liver shot. That liver shot will shut down any grown man. And yeah, listen, props to the kid for at least having the balls to test fate against a killer, a seasoned UFC fighter, a current top 5 ranked lightweight, and Dan Hooker. Like, kid, you got big balls, but Now you had to learn about reality. Y'all remember that clip of Sean Strickland sparring the fan, and like Forrest Griffin had to run in there to stop them because they threw in the towel, and Sean Strickland kept beating the shit out of the kid. Props to Dan Hooker for showing some you know, a little bit of I don't know, reserve. Is that the right word? Either way, I enjoyed both of them. You know, you challenge a pro fighter, you're gonna get what you deserve. You have to understand, just because you put on the gloves in the backyard a couple times with your friends growing up does not mean you're gonna get in there with a UFC fighter and have a modicum of success. So Dan Hooker proved that. And I can't wait to find out who he gets matched up with next. And last but not least, one of the best fights, or at least one of the most anticipated light heavyweight fights in a long time, finally got announced. Jamal Hill versus Yuri Prochazka at UFC 311 in LA. I mean, it doesn't get better than this. 311, one of my all-time favorite bands. Jamal Hill and Yuri Prochazka, two of my all-time favorite fighters, because when you fight like these two do, you consistently put on the kind of fights that the fans want to see. I mean, Yuri Prochazka, just an absolute devastating knockout artist with a very unorthodox style. He considers himself a samurai. The guy will go to the woods and be in dark rooms for like a month at a time. And, you know, and he's into like spirits and all this kind of stuff, summoning things like, hey, do your thing, Yuri. It's been working. And Jamal Hill has the best output and volume in the history of the light heavyweight division, and kind of got a little bit sidelined by injuries, but now he's making his comeback. Both guys have wanted this fight for a very long time, and now it's finally going to happen. And if you're going to that fight, let me know, because I'm considering. I mean, this is a banger, guys. You know, like I said, it's a long time in the making. I love their little banter they had a couple years ago. This is what I'm referring to. So Jiri started the whole thing with this video.
Congratulations. I'm coming. I'm coming.
And then Jamal responded with this.
But where you at, though? Where you at, though? And by the way, that's what she said. That's what she said!
Oh, man. I cannot wait for that fight. So y'all thinking about going to UFC 311, you let me know. Hey, tell me what y'all thought about the first ever episode of This Week in MMA, presented to you by Half the Battle. So obviously this is the first episode, going to make a lot of tweaks, going to fix things up, and I promise you the next one's going to be even better. So leave me comments, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, share, all that stuff. I truly appreciate it. You can follow me on Twitter at Best Fight Picks, on Twitter at Half the Battle HQ, on Instagram at Half the Battle Pod, on TikTok at Half the Battle Podcast, and then all the audio platforms, the Spotifys, the iTunes, etc. And then please subscribe on YouTube. Thank you very much. Y'all know I will be back for the fight breakdowns as usual, and I look forward to speaking with you all very soon. So have a very happy Thanksgiving week, and until the next time,